Hey guys, how's it going? Ashmoy, aka Baby Sham 33 here. So we are back for another path in Act 7, Chapter 1, Quest 1. Um, we are tackling the Return to Cinder um, path here with Stun Reflection and Foresight. Um, Foresight intercepts basically give you passive fury, so it helps you increase your attack. And then you have Stun Reflection. It started a fight in different intervals. You can't stun the attacker, or the stun will be reflected onto you. But we're going to start off here. With Carnage. So we just have the stun reflection and the foresight. First and foremost, let's get our boost up. So I'm not running suicides during this testing. This is definitely a path that you can run suicides. So, but yeah. So therefore, I'm going to boost to increase my damage, my overall damage. Yeah, and as always, these attack points are hefty. So slip up and you're pretty much dead. And that's my fault. The one thing I wasn't supposed to do, which is stun the opponent. It's funny because the on stun reflector there should be a cooldown, and I don't see it going on cooldown. So for the moment, I am just going to continue to fight it as though you can't stun. Obey the special attacks. Got my Fear of the Void up. Hit into his block. Push him back. And I just want to let my debuffs do what they need to do. Void is just such an amazing hero. And once again, I was dashing back, but it registered as a block and got parried. Just double check. Stun reflection. To start the fight, the defender receives a permanent stun shield. While the shield is active, the defender can't be stunned. Every time a stun is attempted, the attacker is stunned instead for 30 seconds. The shield will go into cooldown for 8 seconds if the defender is inflicted with either poison or incinerate. Okay. I that's on me. I read it wrong. While the cooldown is active, The attacker gains 40% attack rating. However, this is like one of those node combinations. It's just like, you know what, this is just a pretty jerk move. Because you combine that with the return to sender. So 60% chance for the defender to purify any incoming poison debuff. So poison or incinerate. So this is return to sender poison. So technically you'd need to use an incinerate hero here. To get the that passive removed. However, it also has sharpened claws, so slash through blocks, inflicting 5 stacks of bleed. So you need someone that can deal with. You would need someone that can do incinerate damage and doesn't take and you wouldn't have a problem with bleed damage, because even if you block even if you block, you're going to take the bleed damage. So you might as well just fight him as though he were stun immune, honestly. It's another one of those, like, okay, combination of nodes where yeah, it's just honestly really crappy. So as you see, when I take the and I got stunned there. When I take hits into my block, I am going to take that bleed damage. I can use Corvus here. There's a few people that you can use on the node like this. Corvus isn't going to take bleed damage while his clave charges are up. Unfortunately, I don't have any charges on Corvus right now, so I'm not going to do as much damage as I would like. I was able to get a nice little intercept in there. And now my clave charges are down. So I went to... I mean, luckily the bleed damage isn't terrible, but... so definitely not the most pleasant node combination. I do want to go back in here with my Corvus. Because I would like to get my clave charge for an Avenger. Bollocks. Like I said, you have to be so cautious. With your dash back, because with your dexterity, because if you're a moment late, you're definitely going to take that damage. Unfortunately, ran out of clave charges. I was trying to get back to a special 2 before my clave charges ran out, but just didn't happen. And that's it. Okay, so the stun reflection. But this time it's the incinerate, so so you'd need a hero here. The return to sender is incinerate, so you'd need a hero here that does poison damage in order to remove the stun reflection. Again, heroes that do poison damage. Well, nevertheless, we get the general point. I can go ahead and I can at least pick up an evade charge here for Corvus. And with Spider Gwen, want to be very careful. And that should knock her down and give me my True Strike. But of course, the minute I crit on her, she will remove that True Strike, which is fine. Like I said, most importantly, I wanted to have it for upcoming fights. It's just so annoying because she does invade so much. And there we go again. I went to Dex back, but computer read it as late. So instead it read as a block. And I'm hitting into her block because Corvus still does fantastic damage when you hit into the opponent's block. And unfortunately my glaive charges are down, so yeah, the slightest hit I take and that's it. All right. But she is more than half down. And if I can keep up my charges with Nick Fury, I don't have to worry about her evade. And at bleed damage, I can really kind of get into her. And she's down. So as long as I can keep up those tactical charges, as he's still in his clone Nick Fury stage or whatever you want to call it. So this is Return to Sender Poison, so you'd need an Incinerate damage hero here. Change in winds, Ronan changes stances every 6 seconds, which basically he's going to keep up that passive damage. Outside of that, there isn't anything overly complicated about this node. I'll go in here with Nick Fury. Oh, that's on me. Balls. And Nick Fury is immune to stun in his second phase. So I can really just kind of go in on him anyway, so perfect. So Nick Fury definitely excellent for this path. Corvus back up here. I'll get my mutant charge. It's going to be a Return to Sender Incinerate. And again, I said I swipe back, but red as a block. And it's so frustrating. Like I said, I know I dash back, and just the way it's connected, it read that I parried, though I know I did not. Block bait there. Frustrating. And down he goes. I know Nick Fury is going to drop down to that 30% mark. However, I'm going to give him a little health. And, oh, wow. I really should have probably read this note. I didn't realize she starts unstoppable. Okay. So I don't know if it's every time she throws it. Special. Just wondering how that is working. So that's on me. I should have checked her node fully. Ah, damn it! I got intercepted. It's all right. It gives me a chance to check that node. That embrace at the start of the fight, and every 30-second Hela gains a Fury. Upon activating a Fury, Hela becomes unstoppable for 5 seconds. Okay. Reading is fundamental, boys and girls. Reading is fundamental. Wow. Super aggressive, and as you saw there, one of my, when I went to dash back, it said it registered as block or a parry. And I took the stun. Stun reflection. Dex and it red as a block. Or just between the timing and everything. It's interesting. I wish there was, because it's supposed to be every 30 seconds. I do wish there was a timer. Let's just use the void. I wish there was a timer that gave the countdown for when the indestructible. I know I didn't parry her. I wish there was a timer that gave the information for when that unstoppable was going to go back up. Now she goes. Long shot. Pure of heart. While active becomes more aggressive, while inactive becomes more defensive. Okay. Oh wow. He so he nullified my my Nick Fury's buff, and that's what killed him. And I have to be honest, I really don't. I haven't fought Longshot very much. I actually do not have him in any rarity, so not even as I don't have him as a 3 or a 4 star. So I'm not really familiar with his movesets. Misfailed because of the bad karma. My dex wasn't working, but not bad with Void. Yes, I don't have him, and honestly one of the best ways to get used to a character in here. I mean, even if you went ahead and you duel the character a lot, um, most of the just tired and messing up. Um, most of the characters that I get used to playing, can't do anything about it, is because I use them in arena, and I'll test them out and just do different content with them. But like I said, I do not have I don't have long shots, so um, puts me at a slight disadvantage. When I'm fighting the character, because like I said, outside of when his the event quest with Longshot was on, um, yeah, not even in arena. I haven't played against him, which is kind of odd because a lot of people do like the character. It's on me, kind of went in and I missed, but that should take him out. Okay. Like I'm watching the miss fail keeps popping up and so forth. But like I said, I don't know the character well enough, and that's unfortunately. Turn to Cinder Poison. Okay, so outside of the typical stuff, I don't see anything crazy. Revive my Nick Fury here. Finally. Trying to find an opening, but he's being super aggressive. Well, I mean, super defensive. Finally. But unfortunately, because he's an Avenger, I started out with 12 charges, so as soon as I let go my special, um, I was at. Now he's kind of playing ball with regards to being able to kind of go in. That's that. And he's down. It's giving some problems trying to find the openings, but it's alright. We got him. So we have Meltdown whenever the defender is struck by a basic attack to gain a Meltdown charge. When the defender is knocked down, consume any active Meltdown charges and deal the attacker a burst of energy damage for each Meltdown charge consumed. If the defender is affected by a power drain, all Meltdown charges are safely removed. So you want a power control hero. You have kinetic transference, explosive personality, armor hand, heavy-handed, and all tech champions in this fight are immune to ability accuracy modification. Okay, fantastic. Real fun time. So that's like, you don't want to knock him down, and that kinetic charges, kinetic transference is always giving him a ton of power. So I'm gonna go for it. And when I knock him down, I'm going to get that the feedback because I'm not power draining. It's an interesting node, I will say that. I was trying to bait the special one, but I messed up on that. So I'm just going to basically say screw the kinetic transference. Just bait out these special ones. That's it. Alright guys, so I'm going to cut it there. Like I said, you've seen me fight this boss already. I'm not going to, doesn't make it me, I don't want to make this video any longer. So thank you for watching. That's another pat down. Hope this helps you out so that you can see, plan ahead, see what counters you might want to bring if Kabam does leave the path as they've laid it out. Like I said, you need to have someone that does poison damage and someone that does incinerate damage to kind of switch back and forth between the defenders. The little mini boss there, Red Skull, isn't too bad at all. But that's going to be it. All right, thanks, guys.